Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of The Gavel, featuring attorney Ana Toledo. Ms. Toledo is the senior attorney and general counsel to Targeted Justice. She has a background in constitutional and environmental law and is an experienced litigator, including 2 cases at the U.S. Supreme Court. And here's Ms. Toledo.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 51 of The Gavel, a podcast dedicated to bringing you the latest news on our quest for freedom from modern-day slavery and government weaponization. I'm your host, Ana Toledo, an attorney with more than 30 years' experience litigating civil rights, environmental, and First Amendment law cases. But now, as you all know, most of you know, I have relocated to Washington, D.C. in a mission for freedom for this community that has been victimized by our own government. So before I go any further, some of you might know I have come to Puerto Rico to set up a Targeted Justice chapter here because I know there are thousands of victims. So I ask you that you please share this podcast, because the censorship, the throttling we are facing is just off the charts. The truth is coming out, and it's like when a boat is sinking because it has a lot of holes. It doesn't matter how many fingers people put in to try to stop the water coming into the boat. There's no use. It's going down. Criminals, you're going down. All you criminals watching, not my dear beloved people from my community, but the criminals that are always lagging this podcast, this tiny podcast that is full of so much information. Today is Friday, May the 8th, and this constitutes a historic record of our fight for freedom from government weaponization. And my goal, as many of you know, is to expose this program, which is slowly happening, not as fast as you would like, but you know it's happening, because once it's no longer covert, it can no longer operate. When you identify the gang stalker, when you identify the criminal doctors colluding in this program, it's all out of the open, and now they have to fetch to defend themselves from what's coming to them. So I am counting on each and every one of you to help me expose this program. And as I have insisted many times, we have to do it intelligently, coherently, not off the charts, not off the deep end. Because in order to get normies to listen to us and believe us, we have to take them slow. We cannot just throw them the whole thing at them, because they're just going to be scared and run away. Anyway, brace yourselves, because every week there's like more important information happening. I hope that was a grammatically correct statement to say in English. But before we go any further, I'd like to invoke a tiny verse, 3 verses from Psalm 26, and they go like this. Continue your love to those who know you, your righteousness to the upright in heart. May the foot of the proud not come against me, nor the hand of the wicked drive me away. See how the evildoers lie fallen, thrown down, not able to rise. And that's exactly what's happening. These people, they thought they were never going to be caught. And now they're going to be thrown down and not being able to rise. How do those doctors that work in the PSYOPs, in the CIA Human Experimentation Division, that I'm going to talk in a little while, how Kevin Shipp talked about it. Well, how are they going to explain to their children that they earned a living experimenting with other humans, including children? I don't think there's an explanation. There's no money in the world. There is no mission. There is nothing in the world that can justify the torture that they have perpetrated. And that's what I tell, particularly the people in Colorado, you should start looking up who are those doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists that work for the CIA Denver domestic headquarters operations, and start filing complaints against them, because they have to defend themselves. They are the ones that create the torture menu for all of us. It's doctors. It's not just government criminals. They are doctors. So let me check here. Before, again, please like, share, and subscribe. It's the only way we can penetrate and maybe make it to the monitor of that one person that can pull the plug on Chance Salzman and fire him away and recommend to Pete Hegseth. He is a criminal. He likes to torture little girls. You need to fire him because these are crimes against humanity. Hi, Krisan. I hope you're watching. I know that your son is being attacked, and my heart and my love goes out to you, as well as all those parents whose children are being tortured. I'm working hard. I am working very hard to end it. I work 7 days a week. Anyways, so before, let's just start. For those of you that did not get to read this week's Targeted Justice newsletter, I'm going to bring you the awesome video by our beloved Sean Volunteer, who, his work is just so priceless, because many people talk, but Sean does. And
If you're a TI looking for a job, we recommend to concentrate on smaller companies. The medium-sized and larger companies will use a background check. You will be identified as a suspected terrorist because your name has been placed on the terrorist screening database. Utilize small boutique headhunters that focus on small companies. Don't use email because the criminals will block it. Walk in ready for an interview and leave your resume with them. Use grok.com to provide a list of 20 small companies in your zip code who may be looking for your expertise. Analog is the best way to beat these digital criminals.
So I have these two different scenarios floating constantly in my life, where I have people being like, do it, you're the one, do it. And then I have multiple people being like, they're gonna kill you. Don't do it. They're gonna kill you. I have like multiple of these whispers in my ears. I can't even describe it. It's crazy.
Congressman Burleson has stated that Amy Eskridge was a victim of government weaponization and was murdered. She suffered from gang stalking, directed energy weapons, and Havana syndrome. She was apparently working to expose anti-gravity technology, just like her father, who also worked for NASA. Many scientists have been dying recently. Their deaths seem to be connected to the anti-gravity technology, plasma research, and related technologies.
Bill Wood is a former Navy SEAL who became an expert at the Pentagon on timelines and probabilities. Bill was interviewed by one of the members of Targeted Justice's advisory board, Carrie Cassidy. Listen to Bill as he described how the deep state used him to analyze timelines from Project Looking Glass, without giving him all of the information. His conclusion was, the timelines are converging to a narrow set of probabilities that will destroy the deep state. There's nothing the deep state can do to manipulate the timelines for any significant effect. They have known this for 30 years. You don't need to agree with this analysis. But keep in mind, this is how the deep state thinks. This is how they make decisions.
Calling all digital warriors. Repost, share, and like this video on every social media site that's out there. We always looking for some awesome people willing to volunteer their time. Let us know what special skills and unique talents you possess by shooting us an email to tjustice2@proton.me. In the subject line, tag volunteer. Looking for more targeted justice content? We have several channels online, 100% free, on rumble.com. Appreciate what we do? We are accepting donations and they're all tax deductible. You can either hit this link to do a quick submission of payment or send us a check to the following mailing address. We are a non-profit organization. We have several different items at our store, ranging from clothes, cups, and merchandise. Either get something for yourself or buy a nicer gift for that special someone by hitting this link.
Thanks for taking your time to watch this video. And God bless, and God bless, and God bless, and God bless.
Again, thanks to Sean for his dedication. So now let's go into what everybody is talking about. Everybody's talking about it. So much so that they released some UFO files because they want to distract from the May 13th MK Ultra hearings that Representative Ana Toledo Luna of Florida has announced. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt, because like somebody's put out there, no, she voted against the FISA. The only reason she did that is because she was selling us out. She was saying, if you tie FISA, clean FISA to Save America Act, I will vote for it. So the only reason she didn't vote for it is because it didn't have the Save America Act, not because she understands that FISA 702 is a means by which the gang stalkers obtain our information in real time to go follow us around, as well as the data purchases from Kash Patel that the senator from Oregon, Wyden, just completely cross-examined him on that and said, nah, this is not going to pass unless we prohibit the purchase from data brokers. So I just wanted to clarify that, because the reason she didn't vote for it is not because she doesn't want the surveillance on us. It's because it was not tied to the Save America Act. Now, even though it's scheduled for May 13th, it is my intuition that it's going to be at 8 in the morning, because she put out a post saying 8 a.m. What that tells me is that for all of you that are in the DMV area, I need you to show up. I'm going to be there with flyers, and we need to be well dressed and, not like elegant, but like work attire. And we have to make sure we make a good representation for our brothers and sisters in all of the United States and around the world, because we are going to go there to say MK Ultra never ended, and we are the victims of it. So I am counting with everyone, take your day off, do whatever it takes, but show up and show up early, because it only happened to me once that the hearing was at 10 and I showed up at 9:30. So when I got there, there was already a huge line and I didn't get in. I got in on like halfway through, and that never happened to me again, because now I go at 8 in the morning when they open the building. So now it is important for all of you, even if you do not go, to submit to the committee. You can submit a comments to the oversight committee. However, I wanted to share with you the card of the. Oh my God, I have to apologize. I'm gonna have to play you the new one, because I played. I'm like, oh my God, this sounds like the old one. So I'm gonna have to play the new one. But here's the thing. This is the card of the chief of staff. So what you're going to do is you're going to send him an email, and I'm going to give you later the links to Dominic's. We're going to talk about Dominic's documentary, I suggest that you all write a heartfelt short, not more than 3 paragraphs, because I tell you, if they get something more than 3 paragraphs, they won't read it. I'm telling you, that's the truth. So you just send something, 3 paragraphs, to Mr. Bill Christian there, william.christian@mail.house.gov, and tell him we request that Representative Luna looks beyond the past into the present. MK Ultra never ended. I am a victim of it, and here's some evidence of it. And you can send the link to targetedjustice.com. You can send a link to our Rumble channel, Real Targeted Justice, or you can send a link. Let me if you I hope you wrote that you can send a link to Dominic's new documentary that is out. And I just, for those of you that didn't know that his documentary is out, let me just play for you a little bit of the trailer. Here's let me copy the link address for you in the chat. And so I really suggest that you share it with this guy and say, look, it's her duty. She's the chair of the committee that exposes government secrets. So this is the moment for her to share, to investigate and share the biggest secret that there is right now. So let me just show you this one. Here.
If you're a targeted individual, you need to watch out. Don't say anything. No one can help you.
We're pretty good at producing weapons.
It just sounded like having a cell phone call with somebody, but it's directly in your head. They claim to be Mossad adjacent.
Did you have cell phones? You're holding a piece of Israel right there.
I believe Israel are behind the targeted individual torture program and Havana syndrome, using backdoors and communications components they produce to torture people into homelessness, suicide, and worse.
To get somebody to blow up a bus full of children, you have to grind it into their minds. You have to wash their brains.
A Kentucky man is accused of murdering his neighbor.
911. I just shot at him, bro. I've been tortured for 5 years now.
He claimed after an argument at a Virginia airport, an unidentified person had sent 3 people to follow him and to keep him awake by talking to him and sending vibrations to his body through a microwave machine.
You can think of the darkest things that you could say to somebody, something that you would never say to somebody. Those are the sorts of things that it uses to destroy you.
What we're talking about with targeted individuals, hearing voices, God speaking to me.
She tried to convince me that she was a satanic high priestess.
If you're thinking a certain way, it's going to manifest as pain. So are you going to think like that again? Well, probably not.
This is psychological warfare. I can't identify my captor, but I know I'm in some kind of a mental prison.
Microwave torture, so that's radio frequency, electromagnetic torture. The end game is a slow kill program.
They want to harass you so you either attack someone or you kill yourself.
It's a perfect weapon. You can make your enemy kill himself.
Okay, so I'm going to share with you the link to this trailer for those of you that have not seen it, because it's a good way you can locate the people that are, for example, in this committee, we have Representative Nancy Mays, we have Representative Eli Crane, we have Representative Burchett. And so you can look up the members of the committee of the exposing the government secrets and tag them on this. The more people that do it, the better. Okay, we are reposting everybody that is reposting this information because it has to get out there. You can also send his mind control, the second documentary, which is the Cognitive Liberty Mind Control, which part of it was filmed during Targeted Action. We are immensely grateful to Dominic for his hard work, and most importantly, for such a credible tool for targeted individuals to share, so that, look, it's not me saying it. This is a very well done documentary. Can you give yourself the opportunity to watch it and then critique it? Just, it's really great when it's not just you saying it. So I think that is something that it's going to be inevitable, but your participation is very important. Your activism is very important. Exposure is inevitable. We have gotten to the point where I think that we have reached the ears and the eyes of a lot of the people in Congress, and it's no longer feasible to keep it under wraps. Anyways, I wanted to share with you something which is really credible also, which was Kevin Shipp. He is a well, hold on, let me look at it here. Kevin Shipp, who is the archivo video cámara adicional. Okay, this is so funny. Compartir pantalla. This is really funny because I'm used to this program in English, and when it's in Spanish, I can't. I'm sorry. I have to apologize. So this is redacted. We had this man. He's so credible, Kevin Shipp. And so a redacted reported, Congress is preparing to hold hearings on the CIA MK-Ultra mind control program, but how much truth will actually come out of it? CIA has long history of compartmentalizing operations and burying sensitive or illegal activities. So here's what Kevin Shipp explained. I'm just going to play a little bit, which I thought was, because here's where he talks about the unacknowledged special access program. Just take a listen here. I think that the redacted people are doing a really great job.
Marchetti said in his view, they continued the program just under another cover name. Now, we have to understand that the same dark system of secrecy that the CIA has been functioning in since its creation in 1947. That same system of deeply layered special access programs still remains today. It hasn't changed. The CIA has never been reformed. Even the oversight committees, quote unquote, that are supposed to be reforming the CIA have done nothing. As a matter of fact, the oversight committees meet once a year, less than any other committee. They're more concerned about the re-election than they are about digging into the CIA and risking their careers like Frank Church did. He was threatened and he lost his career.
There you have it. So we are asking for courage, which we know it's a characteristic that is very scarce right now. But I am trusting that we can push the truth to come out. Let me just play for you the video, because the actual the latest newsletter, and then I'm going to continue on with the rest of the information.
Representative Thomas Massey says the FBI and intelligence agencies operate using their own secret laws that Americans aren't allowed to know about. The FBI is using interpretations of the law that are so secret that no one is allowed to even talk about them. This is being used as a secret loophole for spying on Americans. The FBI's interpretation of FISA is classified. Even members of Congress cannot publicly describe how the law is being interpreted. They are also using secret interpretations to hide what they are reporting. A 106-page classified Fisk opinion reveals another interpretation of the law that allegedly allows the FBI to underreport abuses of the FISA program. This is against the U.S. Constitution. No constitutional basis exists for secret laws or secret interpretations of public statutes.
Richard Lighthouse makes an unsettling allegation against the executives at CERN. In his opinion, some of the data from Atlas and CMS experiments was deliberately falsified. He is very specific. The top quark particle has been deliberately misrepresented. It is actually a boson particle. Lighthouse uses his mathematical model of 1024 QAM to back up his opinions. While the global medical community continues to suppress information about Havana syndrome, it is apparent that the suppression of technical information also exists in the physics community.
Armando de la Torre, inventor of the Silent Night, has been receiving an increased microwave attacks, which causes swelling of the face. This is known as the punching bag attacks. Armando has measured the direction and says it was definitely coming from the sky at about a 45-degree angle. This is just another feature of the Reltron. The microwave pulses can be dialed up or down for intensity. Interestingly, he used an electric fly swatter to detect some of the attacks. Contact Armando or order his products that will help reduce your microwave attacks over at TargetSourceLLC.com.
Calling all digital warriors. Please repost, share, and like this video on all social platforms. We still need volunteers. What skill sets do you have? Tell us by emailing tjustice2@proton.me and in the subject line put volunteer. Enjoy what we do? Want more? You can go to Rumble to catch live shows and replays. Do you know Targeted Justice has its own store? Buy something for yourself or give it to that special someone. You can buy different clothes, merchandise, and etc. by going to the following links. Please consider donating to our site or send a check. We're a non-profit organization, and donations are tax deductible. Every little bit helps. Thank you again for watching this video. God bless. God bless. God bless.
Okay, thank you. Thank you again, Sean. And sorry, I apologize for the snafu. Now, I did translations of those flyers to Spanish, and I'm going to be not only giving them away here in Puerto Rico, but also uploading them for my Latin American peeps over there, because the Latin American people need to have a flyers in Spanish. And I'm very appreciative of Javier, our vice president in Latin America, who has translated. I need to configure it, but he's translated the Target T-Justice automatic mail reply for the Spanish-speaking people. And I have to add, again, for those of you, if you know anybody in Puerto Rico who is targeted, please let them know to write to me at tjustice2@proton.me to confirm. The meeting is tomorrow at noon. And even though perps already probably know, because I have sent it to some people by email, I don't want to put it out here because they like to fill up the place when we get there, but I have a little surprise for them if they do that. So I'm warning you, criminals, you're not going to like it. Anyways, now people are waking up, and this is a good thing. You see, we have been the guinea pigs, right? And our lives have been monitored, and from seeing through our eyes to monitoring things, everything we do and say. Well, now in the town of, how last week Lauren Boebert was announcing that the flock cameras are everywhere. And she says that they are recording every single movement of innocent people everywhere. So people are waking up. Last week, They filed this week. We have that citizens in Scarsdale, New York, filed a lawsuit challenging flock cameras. And what happened is that the town of Scarsdale, which is very upscale, they didn't want to share its plans for flock surveillance cameras. And the NYCLU filed a lawsuit under their Freedom of Information law asking where these flock cameras were going to be located. And they said, we have a right to know where surveillance cameras are in town and where we live. Police cameras like the ones used to ticket speeders, that I have those in Washington, D.C., and it's horrible because you cannot confront your accuser. But they're also used to track vehicles, are usually easily visible and well marked, but not the flock cameras that have become smaller by the minute. So that's the future of mass surveillance, according to Stephen Dalbean, the police chief in Scarsdale. He argues that this is one of the reasons surveillance camera locations should not be disclosed to the public, because they don't want to tell where they are. So the Civil Liberties Union of New York filed a lawsuit, and when the lawsuit was filed, guess what? The town dropped the contract, the $2.1 million contract. Boom, they canceled the deal. These are normies getting empowered. And this is what we need for people to wake up and smell the coffee and realize that this mass surveillance is coming for them too. So this, we're going to be watching out for this, but I think that if this kind of case is filed everywhere around the nation, it's a step in the right direction. We have to reclaim our freedom from just surveillance everywhere. It's just so ridiculous. We've never lived like this, and it's got to stop. And it all started in 9/11 when they had that false flag that they created in order to justify not just the Patriot Act, which, as you might know, Miss Luna is one of she sponsored a bill saying that it was an act to reclaim American Privacy Recovery Act or something like that. Obviously, it hasn't passed, but it would repeal the Patriot Act. And then we have, obviously, FISA and the purchase by Mr. Patel of data from data brokers. So, again, this is, in the future, these are the controversies that towns, municipalities are going to face. Are corporations like flock vendors selling a product? If they are, or does their work qualify as strategic work for the government, exempting them from certain transparency laws, such as FOIA? Can the public gain access to the precise locations of their government surveillance cameras? Does the public get to have a say where the surveillance cameras will be placed? And so this is not going to stop, and I think it's a great thing that's happening. Now, the Trump administration, this is not really that great news. The Trump administration is dismantling FOIA. Yeah. They are longstanding backlogs, staffing cuts, and political pressure are threatening the Freedom of Information Act. So in this article, they say that the life cycle of a Freedom of Information Act, as we all know, with our privacy acts, which are, from the same statute, but not the same thing. Remember, under the Privacy Act, you have more rights because you're asking for information on yourself. They cannot invoke privacy of a third party because you're asking for your information. And even that, they don't want to give it. And this article sort of mentions a little bit why. It says, so you submit the request, wait and watch the 20 business day deadline. You wait some more, nothing happens, and it's very likely you have to. Sometimes they send a clarifying question to delay the process. Nothing more comes out of it, or the release records are rife with redactions. Attempts to appeal result in more delays, leaving one more option: to sue. The Department of Defense reported a 20% increase in pending requests and 42% increase in backlog requests. Then they say that to employees, this is what concerns us. Listen to this. Two employees in the FOIA office for the of the Director of National Intelligence, that's Tulsi's office, Tulsi Gabbard, were fired for releasing a declassified memo. It was declassified, showing widespread consensus in the intelligence community that the Trump administration claims about gang activity in Venezuela were incorrect. It is impossible to look at that as anything other than inappropriate retaliation for a lawful FOIA release. So now take that to the context of our Privacy Act request, where we're asking the FBI criminals to provide evidence of their criminality. Of course, they're not going to provide it. But then if there's 2 or 3 honest FOIA employees that are willing to provide it, they might feel deterred from doing it because they can be fired for disclosing information that the agency will say that they couldn't, right? So it's very likely that we're going to have to file a lawsuit. And and as I have mentioned, I am not going to stop at forcing them to give us the following: our information in Sentinel, in the prohibited access files, in Sentinel Gold, which was discovered by the Cato Institute, in the LSUR, which is electronic surveillance, and the TSDB nomination form, just like they provided to Christine Crowder, and all of our FISA warrants, which probably, for people like myself, imagine this. The FISA warrants are renewed every 90 days. For somebody that has been, so 90 days is 3 months, right? So there would be 4 per year. So if you have been targeted for 10 years, we're talking about 40 FISA warrants. There could be as many as 40. And they have to produce them because, like in the Carter Page case, where they paid him $1.2 million for 4 bogus FISA warrants without probable cause. And that's why I urge you need to send your Privacy Act request. The language in their samples has been updated in the Targeted Justice website /Privacy Act to include the words Sentinel Gold, LSUR, and FISA 702 warrants provided to Carter Page. So I really urge you to do that because it's the one way we are going to force disclosure. Okay. Now, Trump administration is considering pardoning Ed Snowden. I think that that is wonderful because they should have done it with Assange, and they should have done it with Assange, and Trump lost the opportunity. Trump lost the opportunity to pardon Assange and take the credit for it. He lost that beautiful, beautiful opportunity to pardon an innocent man, an innocent truth teller. Well, now they're considering pardoning. It says that the Trump administration officials have spoken to Edward Snowden about full pardon, returning home. Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, a longtime ally and advocate for persecuted patriot Edward Snowden, has reportedly spoken with him about the possibility of a looming full pardon from President Trump and the facilitation of his permanent red carpet return home with a hero's welcome. Snowden exposed the evil mass surveillance that our government is engaged in against we the people and was forced out of his country into exile by the Obama administration for it. So I really hope this happens. I'd be the first one to to go and give him a hero's welcome, because clearly Ed Snowden has been, for us people in the victims of government weaponization, he is a hero to all of us. We know that the criminals at the NSA will commit any crime to further their illegal, unacknowledged special access program of the intelligence community. And he had the courage that very few people have, and he has paid dearly for it. So, anyways, I want to say also, again, I'm forcing Puerto Rico Targeted Justice Group. I eliminated from my phone, just because I didn't want Cash Patel to be buying my data, the Facebook app, and I'm only going to reinstall it just to talk to the people on Facebook and let them know that they really need it to come tomorrow at noon to this meeting, that I'm going to have a live stream in Spanish. So for those of you, I'm not having the Targeted Justice second Saturday of the month meeting, because I'm having it here in Puerto Rico, and I'm going to be transmitting it in Spanish. I am begging you from the bottom of my heart, please don't come into the chat and say, why are you not in English? I seldom do Spanish streams for the community that is so huge, and they are undergoing such torture. So I'm going to go through basic shielding stuff and basic tactics. Like, one of the things that really, I was in church last Sunday, and there was a guy, as soon as I came out, there was an idiot there waiting for me with the lights on. It was just plain daylight. And I just went up to him and gave him very peacefully, gave him a flyer and said, did you know that there are more than 300,000 Americans illegally placed on a terrorist list, and we are victims of organized stalking? And I just gave him a flyer. That totally, and he was okay with it. We need to educate these criminals that chase us around that what they're doing is completely illegal. Now, one of the things that I just discovered here, which I think, you see, I have my flyers in Spanish, but also in Puerto Rico, which is something I urge you all to look for. And I made this because I'm going to give anybody that is chasing me around with a cell phone. So it's the stalking law here in Puerto Rico says that it is a felony with 3 years of jail, of prison. Anybody that stalks using any technological artifact to determine or monitor the location or movement of a person, of his or her private property, without their authorization. I think this is like a really, but the law requires that the person does it more than 2 times. So this is one that I'm going to be giving away to people along the way. I think it's beautiful. I don't know. I have not seen this kind of statute. Even though Puerto Rico is very backwards in many things, I think this is a very forward thing. So anyways, remember to send your Privacy Act request. I have plans of doing various things with it, but most importantly, you're going to be able to file lawsuits for this, and there are attorneys' fees. It is my goal. I just saw that there are a couple of attorneys in California that are representing TIs. I'm going to explore with them if they would file these Privacy Act lawsuits, because it's pretty much open and shut. The government has an obligation to give you any records they have on you. The FBI is only looking in 35% of their files. They are intentionally hiding your records from you because they're looking somewhere else. And we're going to stop that practice, and we are going to put them to shame, because we are going to prove, who knows, maybe it is our Privacy Act lawsuit that gets to shut down the FBI criminals, because we will be able to uncover, even though they're going to redact most of it, it's going to be up to a court of law to say, no, you have to unredact that because there's no reason for it. Okay? So please remember to follow Jim at Real Coffee Jim and on X. He's putting out the notice at noon for the prayer and the meditation for 5 minutes. 5 minutes is all it takes for all of us to come together in an intention for the end of this horrific program. It works. Anyways, hi Joey. Miss everybody. You know, you guys, I miss so many people everywhere. Now, let me check the questions. I don't want to extend myself too much. I'm gonna be on Tuesday, the 13th. No, on Wednesday the 13th. I'm gonna be in that hearing, and every single one of you that lives close in the DMV area, I need you to be there. We need to demonstrate that there are humans that are being today victims of the CIA criminals. That is not a fantastical, like Judge Rosenthal said, that it is very real and very cruel. And I just really hope that we can have a big show of people there. Okay. Normally, the way she hasn't announced who the speakers will be, and it wouldn't surprise me that they choose CIA criminals to go say, no, this is, this is all over. This is the past. And of course, you cannot start screaming. We have to behave there. Okay. You cannot say, liar, you liar. No, you're going to get arrested. The Capitol Police, let me tell you, they are the Stasi. They treat law-abiding citizens like myself as if we were inmates on a jail and they are correctional officers. I am not kidding you. You have to walk like this and like the soup Nazi in Seinfeld and move like that and go like that, because these people are not nice. So you have to go there in your best behavior, no screaming, no hollering, no getting up. It's because you don't want to get in trouble. We don't want to get in trouble. I know it's our free speech. I know it's our First Amendment. But last week, when the veterans went to protest in the rotunda in one of the buildings, Mike Johnson had anti-war. These are veterans fighting, protesting, exerting their sacred First Amendment right against war, and Mike Johnson, the one that wants to push for a 3-year FISA, who should be voted out of office. Mike Johnson had them arrested. So, anyways, I don't see. Yeah, look, this is the time to continue. For example, one of the tools you get, I did it today. I did what's my IP, and my phone placed me in Houston, Texas. So clearly the criminals are trying to hide me. Always keep your stuff, keep your evidence, okay? It's going to be complemented by what we obtain with the Privacy Act's request. Okay. So anyways, thank you so much for being here. I so much appreciate it. Please, again, like, share, and subscribe. And next week, it's going to be amazing because I'm going to have a rundown of what transpired in the meeting, in the hearings, who said what. And, I just think we should just be ecstatic that we are the protagonists of setting humanity free from modern day slavery. Books are going to be written for the next decades about what you had to go through So that's why documenting your experiences is so important. And most important of all, that is why you never giving up and fighting back is so crucial in this historic moment that we are. Only reason things are happening, only reason an MK Ultra hearing is happening is because you all have been pushing for it. Okay, you have been writing to you have been doing your Privacy Act request. Even if those criminals haven't answered, they feel the pressure. And they're going to continue feeling it because we are going to force them to answer. Okay, so thank you everybody again for being here. And I look forward to seeing you. Do not miss it next week. I look forward to seeing you, and we're going to push for more hearings. Please, if you're not subscribed to my media, do so. I'm going to put there more emails for the other members of the committee and a sample letter for you to just copy paste, because we need to make all these other members of the committee, such as Eli Crane, whom, as many of you know, Richard Lighthouse and myself met with him. And we told him about the program. So it's not like he's completely in the dark about it. We need to write them. Okay? Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you next week.